Hello Barmy Badger Army, I hope you're well guys. Welcome to the show, and today we'll be talking about quite a few topics to do with the May Bank holiday. May the 4th be with you. So we're going to be talking about some Star Wars, and we're going to talk about some general bits and pieces that we've been up to during the last couple of weeks. And today, whilst we talk about these things, we'll be drinking some Mountain Dew, following on from our topic the other week about energy drinks and their effects on people. You will see that in the coming minutes. Nick, open the bottle. So yes, today we're going to be talking about our experiences with Mountain Dew and are looking forward to the coming bank holiday. So what are your plans for the bank holiday coming up, Nick?
I've got a friend's birthday on the bank holiday itself.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I know lots of people whose birthdays are this time of year. You know, the start of May is a busy time for birthdays. It's actually my youngest sister's birthday today.
So happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Susie.
Indeed. So don't forget to say in the comments, happy birthday to Susie.
Yes, let's encourage her to use the internet more often, because people don't up north where she lives.
Strange. Okay, so yes, indeed. So it's going to be an interesting time. Like I said, I'm looking forward to spending extra time with the boss and the family. It's going to be lots of good fun. Hopefully there's going to be some exciting things going on in our local area that I can tap into. It's going to be free and a bit fun for the family. Looking forward to that. And obviously now in the coming weeks we've got loads of cool stuff coming up. We've got the summer fair in Hornchurch, haven't we? So that's going to be really good stuff.
It's the time of year where big events start happening.
That's right. So you've got loads of stuff coming up, and it's going to be a real hoot. I'm really looking forward to that. Last year was very warm. Literally had to constantly give Badger Junior
the start of May was really hot, wasn't it?
Yes, it was very hot last year. Constant drinks, constant water and things like that. So make sure you keep yourselves hydrated once again.
This is very important.
Indeed, yeah. So what else? What are your feelings towards bank holidays, Nick? Do you enjoy bank holiday weekends and things like that?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Generally, people are generally in a good mood.
Yes.
And the week is a bit shorter. I mean, I work Tuesday to Friday, so my working week isn't actually affected that much by the bank holiday. But there's usually a couple of events going on. There's usually bank holiday sales, which
bank holiday sales, yes, always interesting. Yes.
Shops will use anything as an excuse for a sale, and as long as you're not buying loads of stuff you don't actually need, then you know you can actually pick up some good bargains.
That's right. So have you ever tried Mountain Dew before? Let me know what you think of that.
Once before.
Once before. Okay.
It's not bad. That one doesn't seem as fizzy as some of the other some of the other energy drinks out there.
No. Well, this is technically classed as an energy drink in the UK, but in America, it's just a normal soft drink.
So it's basically lemonade.
It's basically really sugary lemonade, yes, with a touch of caffeine. Whereas in America, it's really really classed as just a normal soft drink, which is an interesting fact. But I can feel myself becoming slightly hyper, which is amusing. What about you, Nick?
To be honest with you, I was pretty flat when we started. So anything that sort of like raises me up a bit is notable. I think it's one of those things where it doesn't properly hit you until a little while later. Because I had another one last week, and I was absolutely bouncing off the walls.
Really, was you? What was that brand?
It was the one that they gave away at our Start Development Day.
Yes, indeed. Yes, I know the one you mean. The one with the bull on the front.
Yes.
Yes, it's very good stuff.
Yeah, that was when. So yeah, we had like a bunch of those being given away at the last Staff Development Day we both did, and yeah, so I had one on Thursday for one of the lessons where not a lot happens, and yeah, I was like wide awake, and I was like, wow.
This is insane.
Yeah, so they do. So these ones do work. I'm not feeling it that much with this one.
Okay, we'll have a little bit more. You're fine, and we'll do a little bit of a review. So obviously, we were talking about the fact that May the 4th is coming up. Also, Nick, what are your thoughts on May the 4th?
Well,
are you a Star Wars fan like myself?
I'll be honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of those sorts of things. Purely, to be honest with you, I watched Star Wars when I was about 5, and it made no sense to me whatsoever.
It wouldn't at all. Yeah, I know.
I remember watching there were like Star Wars cartoons at the time on CBBC as well.
Based on the films?
Yeah,
or?
so I know that C-3PO and R2-D2 were in those.
Yes, they definitely were.
And
yes,
I remember watching those and not being able to follow them at all. And I have a horrible feeling that if I watched any of those films now, I'd have the same issue.
Probably you would, yes. I mean, this is what I was going into the other day with a lot of the films now, especially the Marvel films, where they're all interconnected now. They're all interconnected. So you have to watch the previous ones in order to understand the story.
It's turned into like a giant soap opera, hasn't it?
Yes, indeed, yeah. So it's the same with the Fast and Furious ones. You know, you can't really just go and see number one, like the newest one there. You need to have seen all the rest of them.
Yeah, you can't go see Furious. What are they up to, number 10 now or 9?
They're getting up to 9. The next one will be 9.
So yeah, so if you want to watch one, it would make no sense at all.
Indeed, so it wouldn't make any sense at all. So it just is hard to figure out what's going on with those. And I find it really interesting, but everyone keeps going back to them. And obviously it's an ongoing franchise and ongoing things, but it's going to be harder for us all to sort it all out, I think. And I think it's really hard to, once you get into that, and this is what I'm saying, eventually I think the bubble's going to burst, because eventually there'll be more people out there that will find it harder to figure out what's going on. I think eventually normal cinema, where it's just 1 or 2 or 3 parts, will come back into fashion.
I can believe that, actually. I think it's, I mean, I suppose in many ways it's a good thing that, you know, movies, they're making people think. They're not just brainless explosions all the time.
That's true, yeah.
You know, and I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw bits of Final Destination 2, that film, recently.
Okay, you've seen Final Destination, have you?
It's well known for having some of the most ridiculous death scenes on film ever.
That's very true.
There's there's an intelligent story trying to get out.
Yes, there is. I mean, the very first one, if you've ever seen the first Final Destination, that is the best one ever, because it actually has a legitimate storyline. It works well with the characters, and it's really interesting. Whereas I think the further the series got along, it turned into a bit of a, you know, slasher films. But the very first one's really interesting. Same with the very first Halloween and the very first Nightmare on Elm Street. Very interesting horrors. But even the very first Friday the 13th was actually quite good. And bit of a side note here, Kevin Bacon was actually the first... Yes, that was his first appearance. Yeah. And actually, Johnny Depp's first appearance was in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes, I remember watching the first Friday the 13th. It was kind of like a bit of a cash-in on Halloween, I think.
That's right, yeah.
Halloween has a very low body count for the kind of film that it
does, yeah.
But at the same time, you know, it's a fascinating story.
That's right,
you know, and that's what I like. I mean, I don't watch a lot of horror films.
No, me neither now. I used to be really into it. But I think I've been I've gone past it. I used to be desensitised to horror films, but now I've actually gone the other way.
Yeah.
Where actually I find them really too scary now.
Yeah, I've just always been squeamish anyway. But I mean, something like Scream is such a brilliant movie because
that's right. With Neve Campbell,
because it's just you know there's a good story in amongst the gore, and that's what's important. And I think going back to the superhero films,
that's
you
right.
know, they are the kind of films where you could just have lots of explosions, lots
you
of CGI.
You could Michael Bay it, definitely.
But if there's a good story trying to get out, then that's work. I mean, that's why kind of like Avengers has taken off so much.
That's right, yeah, because there's a good story in the background.
Yeah, and everyone is talking, you know, and everyone's talking, and everyone in Avengers, I've not seen it myself, so I can't give you any spoilers.
That's right, yeah.
Everyone is talking about the ending being a lot.
Yeah, so it's got a bit of a thrill ending, bit of a twist ending, which is going to be interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen it myself yet either. But yes, it'd be interesting. Like I was saying with Star Wars, there's lots of people going out there every week, and they're going to be watching it on May the 4th, and they're going to be going on, and they're going to probably watch every single Star Wars film. They'll be having marathons and things like that.
There's a new one coming out later this month, isn't there?
Yes, I'm not sure if it's this month, but I know that Han Solo, the Solo film, comes out. I think that's coming out soon enough. So it's going to be interesting to see what the reception is, because a lot of people are a bit on the fence about Han Solo film. They're not too sure whether it's going to be great or if it's just like something of Netflix quality, which someone said to me the other day. They thought it didn't look good and they weren't sure about it, and that's somebody that's been into Star Wars for about 30 years. So it's going to be interesting to see how they feel.
The thing with the Star Wars films is they have this Everest of expectation.
This is very true, yes.
I mean, The Force Awakens, a lot of people really liked that because it really had like no kind of there was people. I don't think people's expectations of that were very high because the prequels weren't very popular.
Yes, episode 1, 2, and 3 were absolute dire. I mean, Jar Jar Binks and Boss Nass. What were they thinking?
Yeah, so it's worth it. So I think everyone was quite pleasantly surprised by that, and then kind of like I think Rogue One had quite a good reception.
That's right. Yes,
and
very true.
Last Jedi, everyone was a bit about it.
Yeah,
So
I'm sure.
it's kind of like it kind of feels like the bubble could burst.
It does feel like the bubble could burst, but what people have got to remember is there was filming problems because of Carrie Fisher's death.
Yes.
I mean, that's what they have to remember when they look into the last Star Wars film. But yes, it's been interesting, and I really hope the weather peaks up, ready for our May Day extravaganzas that everyone's going to be up to.
Yes.
I will be spending a lot more.
Running out onto the beach.
Indeed, who knows? Everyone might be running out onto the beach. I will be having a chill, fun time with the family, and I'm looking forward to it. Very much so. And Nick will be running around like a madman as always, I'm sure.
Yeah, basically.
Indeed, so it's going to be good fun. And Nick is going to be doing some more travel vlogs for us as well,
yes,
which is going to be great. They've gone down a treat and everyone seems to be really enjoying those.
Thank you to everyone for your nice words with those.
Indeed, so thank you very much. I'm really pleased everyone's been enjoying that new series on the show, thanks to Nick. So Nick, we have been drinking Mountain Dew Citrus Blast for the duration of the show. What do you think of it, and do you think it's perked you up a little?
I still think it's kind of flat.
Okay.
It's a bit flat.
What, taste-wise or energy-wise? What do you think?
I think the bubbles have long since burst on it.
Okay, so you don't think it keeps its fizz that much?
Yeah,
then?
it doesn't
That's
keep its fizz much, and it's also and taste-wise, it's not too bad. It's not a very strong taste. You can always tell.
No, yes.
You can tell like Red Bull has a taste.
Yes.
And the one that we had has a taste.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, but this one a bit bland.
Okay, that's interesting.
I just think that there is a local wrestler who I can't for the life of me remember. I think he's got the name Mountain in his name or something. Like that.
Okay, yeah.
But his vest is basically styled like that.
Oh,
so
that's
whenever I see
interesting.
this, I think of him.
Okay, that's cool, that's cool. I mean, I've drank a few bottles of Mountain Dew now, and I must admit, I think it's quite nice. I do like it. So I would give it like 4 out of 5. What about you, Nick? Out of 5?
I'd give it 2.5.
2.5? Okay, so we differ there greatly. But I do understand why, because obviously it's not a traditional energy drink. It's more like a soft drink in an energy drink package, which is going to be very interesting. So, interesting. Thanks very much, Nick, and we've had a great chat as always. Thank you for joining me for On The Bench. Once again, where we're not on a bench because it's absolutely pouring down. Typical Essex summer weather. Bye for now, Barmy Badger Army. See you later on, guys. Have a great May Day, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.